You.
Forest. At my house. I live
Wow.
here. I live in the
How,
forest.
how lucky are you?
I don't know. God sent me here. I was buying a house in February of last year in LA. And then I got here to move in my new house, which I built, which was meant to be half the time because I work here in Asia.
I know. I know.
You know about this. So anyway, so the point is, I am in Bali. I'm very lucky. I'm watching LA and America. It's horrific what I see every day on the news.
It really is.
Oh my goodness, it hurts so much. The polarization and the separation of people and anger and frustration. And then, all of this with COVID, it's just so much. But I see you. I think Billy's sick. Huh?
Billy's okay now.
Okay.
Thank
I
God.
haven't seen him in longer than I haven't seen you.
He's okay. He's negative. He's, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
I lost so many people.
thank,
But China, why won't you age 1 second?
I am. Look, these is wrinkles.
Yeah, everybody when they squinch their forehead. Well, we'll know if you get a vaccine or not. If you got wrinkles or if it's the.
What are you talking about?
They say that people who have any face fillers can't get. Can I have the ice cream? Um, they say that you can't get the vaccine if you have fillers. So like that's all of LA can't get the vaccine
What?
because
I've
them
never
motherfuckers got
heard
fillers.
this. I've never heard that people with thank God I don't have anything on my face. I have nothing.
You'll be the only girl in LA who can get the vaccine.
I don't
Thank
take
you. Yeah,
needles.
leave
No,
here.
I don't want. I don't
Charge.
get infected with any crap.
You
You're
look good.
vegan, right? I'm eating. Do you
Hmm.
know? Do you know this? This brand. I got it at M Cafe.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
supposed to be clean.
Right. I invest in a lot of these companies. I really believe in the future. I've written so many books on the subject. I have a new one coming out. It's called A Post-Pandemic Lifestyle. And people are dying. I've lost 15 friends, including my very best friend. And people are dying because of their diet. There's no other reason. It's because of the pre-existing health conditions. It's cancer, it's diabetes, it's hypertension, it's heart disease. And they're dying because of their diet that create these conditions. And I'm just praying that we'll come to our senses. The planet is dying because of our diet. The environment is dying because of our diet. And we're dying because of our diet. Like what don't we get? I'm sorry. Have your steak.
No,
My
I'm not.
last book was called A Happy Vegan.
I'm eating vegan. I'm eating non-GMO, vegetarian, no MSG, not fried. Probably will not taste very good, perhaps.
I don't
But
know. I live in vegan Disneyland.
I
You
know
got to
you.
come stay with me. I
I
built the
remember
most
when.
amazing guest house with your name on it.
Pardon?
I built the most amazing guest house with your name on it. It's actually the Snoop Dogg suite. He was coming here, and at the last minute, I said, if he stays here, because he didn't come at the last minute, but if he stays here, he won't like Ming Lee's suite or the Yoki Lee suite.
Are they
He
there
needs
with?
something big. They left. They were here until December. I was supposed to go on vacation with them, but it was just too many planes for an old nigga to get on a plane and
How old are
fly
you
five.
now?
I'm 63 years old.
No, not you. The girls.
Oh, they're 20 and 18. One's in Harvard,
Oh,
and one's in NYU. Yep.
guys, I've known the Russell's daughters. I knew Russell before he had daughters, actually. We've known each other for 26 years. I don't know, a long ass time. I met you with Karada and them. Is that how I met
Yeah,
you?
I'm
Yeah.
sure. Because we were all three running mates. It's
Yeah.
so nice to see you, and I'm glad you're healthy. I'm glad Billy's better.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know how I heard that Billy had gotten COVID, but they say
He
one
wrote,
in three people in LA have had it.
huh?
1 in 3 people in LA have had
Oh
COVID.
my God, Troy is watching.
Oh, I love Troy. That's my sister.
I just need to give a shout out right now. Troy Baker is on, and Troy wrote. Did she direct it or did she just write Baps?
She directed that thing and played in it. She directed it and
I
played in it.
wrote it. Do you know that apparently? Tell us if it's true. Is it about Karada? Oh my God, Tina's watching.
I
Martina,
love you guys, Troy says.
oh my God, they're all watching. So you have to watch this movie, Baps. And then she has the hair. Halle Berry and her friend has the hair that says "Booyah" in the hairdo. Oh my God, I'm obsessed with that movie. If you guys have not seen BAPS, it's BAPS, and it stands for Black American Princesses.
Yes.
Is that right?
Like Japs. We used to say Japs all the time.
Yeah, and
But
Troy,
wait, China, tell us about you. Everybody else, I guess some of the people who joined on haven't heard about you in a while. Like they haven't heard. Simone told me to follow you, first of all, and
Simone
she's
who?
watching now. Simone Reyes, who was my assistant
Oh
for
my God.
35 years, right? She looks 12 still, by the way. But she's holed up in the house and really, like a lot of us are suffering because we have, we can't go out. She's not suffering over that. She's worried about her family and friends and people who have pre-existing health conditions because it's a little bit scary, I guess.
Well, for me, I've had a really hard time because, as you know, my mom died of AIDS, and that was an epidemic. So for me, illness, pandemic, epidemics, I get really, so I'm trying to learn how to be more. I'm trying to be just grateful and have my heart open and trying not to be judgmental of people's behaviors, but it's tough,
It's tough when you watch people who don't realize that their actions have implications for others.
Mm.
I see a lot of people, young people, who think that because they may be, almost invincible, that they can't be responsible for hurting someone else. They kind of act as if they're okay until the world is. And I think that's selfish. And you don't see that here in Asia. You don't see that in Bali. I don't see that in Singapore. You don't see that in China. People wear masks for respect for each other. It's not a political statement. First of all, if you don't get the vaccine here in Bali, you got to go to jail or get out of the country. If you're a Westerner, you can leave. But the
What
Balinese,
they have
you
there?
got to get. Do they have not a lot, but they still got to
Is
get
it
a vaccine?
Pfizer and the same ones?
I think that the other one, not the Pfizer, the other one, that one. The other one. There's two that they've approved, not
Moderna.
Pfizer. Pfizer's
Moderna.
here too, I'm sure, but they're more of the other one, and they're giving the essential workers now. But but it's in the newspaper that if you don't take the vaccine, you go to jail. If you're Indonesian.
How bad is it there? The cases.
Well, in Bali, not so bad, but in Indonesia, in Jakarta, in the capital, it's getting very bad. But nothing like what you guys have. Everybody's more respectful and everybody is more careful than Americans. I think Americans feel more entitled. I hate to be judgmental, but they are, as a collective, more entitled. And they do shit that I think kind of just reaffirms their entitlement. You can watch them do it. All you do is watch their Instagram.
I know.
So, yeah. Japan has a mask culture. That's right. And so, I get on my scooter, I put on a mask just because of cars and the exhaustion. I ride a scooter.
It's just part of the culture there. It's part of
it's part of the culture. So it's easy to adapt and make it more
foreign to them. And I can understand that, but we have enough information now that, like, culture or not, let's do this for each other,
Yeah. So what I'm doing is I have offices in New York and LA, which both are closed currently. And I may not need the office in New York, but LA will open up again. And I had a house I was buying, but then
wait, so you don't have that house that
I don't even have that house anymore.
You don't have
I
that
sold
house.
that house, but I was looking at it to buy a house. And I actually had it, and I was in contract, and I was lucky enough to get out of it when COVID happened. And I haven't been back to America since March. Because you guys are COVID-y. And my office in Singapore is operational and other offices in Asia. Sure. So I'm happy. I'm lucky. I'm very lucky. I worry. I lost a lot of friends. I lost a lot. I lost Andre, Andre Harrell. I lost a couple days ago, ecstasy from Houdini died. I lost my stepmother, who I loved my entire life, even before she was my stepmother. I lost a lot of people. I'm old. I'm 63. People my age, check it out. And especially, as I suggested to you, it's the diet.
Incredible for three.
Oh, well, it's the diet. for everyone. It's diet, and of course a little
How,
exercise and meditation. For most people, if we do these things, it will reverse the aging process, or certainly slow it down a great deal. And I think, and also protect us from these pandemics and these diseases. The COVID is looking for people who eat animal products. My book that's coming out, Simon & Schuster did all the research to double down on my research. And the claims that I make, which are the ones you see in Netflix and all these documentaries, are true. All of these things are caused by animal products, not sugar for diabetes, but meat.
it's
It's all meat. It's all
also
animal product.
also palm oil and
Oils.
of that, which has nothing to do with an animal, but it has to do with human need and human consumption and what's cheap and what's work and what works, financially. But really, palm oil, I won't, I don't buy products if I turn it around and if it says it has palm oil in it, I try not to get it.
There's a list of all the contaminants, but a lot of the stuff that you see as hurtful that's in your diet in America, most of it is illegal in Asia and certainly in Europe.
What, you like certain preservatives or certain
If there's 2,000 toxins that are outlawed in England, for instance, or Australia, 1,800 of them are allowed in America. You don't have the same Doritos they got. They got a different Dorito from you. They got a different KFC from you. They have a different Burger King from you.
Same thing with this FDA and skincare and stuff like that. What?
Oh, all the stuff you rub in your skin is, yeah. Well, we just have to, be a little more mindful, and of course, keep a good attitude.
Hold on, I just want to give a review. This is actually quite nice.
Oh, good.
Surprisingly, and I just added a little
I've
bit.
seen that product.
Ginger, organic sushi ginger, and then I put a little bit of corn, organic corn. I don't have scallions or anything, so that's it for whatever.
Well, so nice. So you must be at least 35 by now.
Russell, stop it. You've known me for like longer than whatever. I am 46.
Oh my God. Lucky you, the Asian.
46.
The Asian shit you got there.
Look at you.
Wow. That's black thing.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if you're happy, it makes a big difference.
Mm.
So try to keep your head, up when things, the yogis say to remember. Really important. Like sometimes you get noisy in your head and suffering sets in, but if you just empty it out, do the things that matter, that empty out the noise, then you get happy. So you have to work on happiness, and sometimes, it does, because they'll feed you sadness.
You know what I discovered the other day? And this was really big for me. I was really upset about something, like really upset, like crying, upset. And then I just said to myself, stop, it's a trick, right? Stopped it. Let it go. And it worked. I was like, oh my God.
We say often, remember to remember. That's it. That's it. When you're meditating, you have a mantra, you lose it. And then you bring it back gently. You don't have to kill everything else, but you gently bring the mantra back and focus on the mantra. This is how happiness is. You focus on happiness, and it walks away, and then you just have to bring it back. And it's all from the inside, as you know, as we all know. We just have to remember the lessons we learned, right? And how to use them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and what about Trump? All the time I spent with him as a friend, thinking, well, he's not president. I never thought he could be president. Like the minute he ran for president, I was like, nigga, please, no, fuck no. And then, of course, our friendship ended the minute he started to really campaign and said those horrific things about the wall in Mexico and stuff. But
I don't want to
look what we went through.
But I do want to ask you, why can you use the N-word? Tell me
because my great-great-great-grandfather was a slave. And it's a word that we use. It took the pain out of the word in some ways. And I don't want to get into that. You don't want to talk politics. I don't want to talk about it. Okay. And I should never use it because if it makes you uncomfortable. But it's just something that I'm a 63-year-old black man. And if you told my father, for instance, he couldn't use the N-word, he became eventually a professor of black history. He would just be like, nigga, please. Don't tell me what to say. Okay. I think, it's not to encourage white people to use it. No.
No, of course not.
Right. So it's, it's something but I don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about
What do
you,
you want?
you and Billy. I haven't spoken to you like maybe once, but like when you were first dating Billy, I remember the off and on thing a little bit. And now you're like married, like you're his caretaker, like you're responsible for him. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Simone told me you are. She watches you on when you go on these lives, and you like that's your man. That's your like he's your nigga.
That's for sure.
Well, and that's
Yeah,
nice. I'm happy if you're
I
happy. I only care about your
got
happiness,
I
even
got
more than Billy's.
for him. I bring it to him. Yeah, I take care of him.
That's very nice. I'm happy you're happy, and about everything really.
Would love him.
So
He's very deserving.
I haven't spoken to him in a long time, but I always liked him. We hung out quite a bit. Back in the '80s or whatever, in late '80s. He's a sweet guy. As long as you're happy, that's what matters.
Hmm.
Yeah. So just keep your head up, China. I'm so happy to see you, and I'm gonna, you have to DM me your number so I can speak to you
I
directly.
love it. You
Huh?
don't you don't have my number?
No. Why do you think I jump on Instagram? We're having a conversation in front of like
I texted you.
187 people. Somebody
Okay.
said, "Nigga, please."
Well, yeah,
You
it's
better
like
be black saying that shit.
we're having a FaceTime right now, but people are watching and listening. That's what's happening. You and I are
But I'm
FaceTime.
so happy to see that you're in a good space, and you just cooked that food in front of us. So um, is that an Asian thing? Like your noodles, chopsticks? Like you like?
No, I don't know. I was just hungry and felt like chatting and wanted to tell them what my aunt told me about chopsticks. But then I realized, you know what? I'm holding them in the right place. She says you have to hold it 3/4 in. If you hold it too close, then you'll never leave your house. If you hold it back too far, you're going to end up in Timbuktu. So she said two-thirds of the way. But actually, that's what I'm doing. I wasn't sure, but now that I'm eating, that's what I do. So I'm okay.
I'm gonna check on later at dinner. I'll grab some chopsticks to see where I grab them.
Yeah, see where your hands are.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen. Tell
Mm.
Billy I said hello.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your head up,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm so happy to see you. Look fantastic.
I'm happy to see you too. I can't believe
All
your girls
right.
are so big.
Huh?
I can't believe the girls are so big.
They're grown. They're
That's
so grown.
crazy to me.
Again, one went to Harvard when she was 16. That was Yoki, and she's an academic. She loves school. And then you have Ming, who's in NYU, who's following her mother, who's a designer. So between those two lights of my heart, and then the other children, Kamora's got like 3 other kids, boys, and they're my godchildren. So
Yeah, I
that's the
met
closest thing I got to.
the little boy that she had with Jaimin.
Kenzo, he's
Kenzo,
so
exactly.
tall now.
How big
He's
is
gonna
he?
be like 6'10" or something. He's tall.
How tall? How old is he?
He's, I don't know, 13 maybe. He's tall. He's very tall. So and then there's Wolfie. These are my godchildren. So I have that, and I'm here. A lot of Westerners live here. This is pretty nice. It's almost like vegan Disneyland and yoga Disneyland, and people are here for consciousness of self-discovery and self-study, and people are here in this medicine city. It's like a holy city. It's like a bunch of not of hippies, but happy Westerners that come here and study themselves. It's very interesting that people live in this community like this, and there's a bubble from the rest of the stuff I see on the news. I do watch the news all the time, but it's like a reality show because it's so foreign to me. Although obviously the politics I care about, and I've always been invested in these politics. And I'm glad to see the turn of events. I won't discuss them if you don't want to, but it is troubling that half the country.
Of events, that man is so vile, and
Oh,
it's
it bothers me because there are even some hippies here who are QAnon theorists. And what I can tell you is that, first of all, the secret society in Hollywood, well, I know those people. They couldn't keep a secret no matter what, right? And they're just artists who are a little crazy and they don't deserve to be, accused of things. So there's that. And then there's Trump as a healer. I know him for 35 years. He's always just been funny and fun and nice enough. But yes, he said homophobic and Islamophobic and anti-Semitic and racist things. And we were just like, whatever, because he was just a funny guy. We never thought he would be president.
Well, the good news is this day and age, whatever doesn't pass anymore. You know, not for a president and not for people, like not for people you want to surround yourself with, or not with, and I mean, not that you could ever surround you know what I'm saying though, right? I think
It's hard to, but you know, it's kind of hard to reverse the damage that's been done. It took a very long time. It's easy to convince people to hate each other. It's harder to turn it around. It took a long time in Nazi Germany, in Rwanda, in places where horrific things have happened, when people started being divided in ways that were violent and so forth, right? It took a long time for them to come, their hearts to open and to see each other as the same. It's very difficult. And we were on our way in a pretty positive direction. I'm surprised that we were able to be manipulated in such a way, to such a polarized society.
Oh,
and social media is feeding it in ways that we don't know how to stop.
Somebody wrote, you can't blame one person. I'm not blaming Trump.
We're not blaming Trump alone, but he did water some of the seeds.
Pardon?
He did water, like if you were once a racist and then your kids marry black and you live in this world and the world is changing and lesbians are getting married, everything is happening around you. You start to just soften your heart and you start to live in the world. Like you don't want to be different. So you just like abandon these ideas or put them to the side. And everybody has some discriminatory kind of genes, right? You can water those seeds. And I don't want to blame Trump alone, but we watered the seeds of hate. We gave people to point at, to blame for our problems. We did that as a country. And we were on our way to a much better place. But, you know, at the same time that we're suffering from, you know, this polarization, we see much more inclusive and open-minded people. I think that there's a future that will have equal high-quality education and healthcare. And I do believe in the future, not a socialist future. Of course, people should have healthcare. Of course, people should have education. Of course, people should have a living wage that makes sense. I believe in all those things without being a socialist, I think. And if I was, I guess I was a socialist. What I'd like to see is we take care of each other and love each other. That's what I'd like to see.
I'm with you. I shift the conversation to something.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Right. We all have to take responsibility. We're all responsible.
Yes.
You know? Like when the George Floyd thing happened, I was like, this shit's been going on for years. How to come, this has been okay with us. Not with you, but with the collective we, you know? It's just
it's disturbing, you know, like first, when I was a kid, we were always afraid of police. We didn't have to be selling drugs to see a cop and run. We just were afraid of the police. And it's been that way as long as I've been alive, and certainly before I was alive. The police were rival to the KKK in many instances, and people believed and saw them like that. So that's been our experience throughout American history. So now to see people finally waking up and seeing that and marching alongside us gives me hope, right? And this idea of, I don't know why they keep saying defunding the police, but we should take some money and put it into healthcare. Take some money and put it into programs that stop violence. Take some money and put it into other places besides just the police force. So it's not defunding them, but it's, you know, just building a better, a safer a community with the same budget. You know, there's no new money, it's the same money. And so that's what discussion, I think. And I hope that they'll get prosecutors who won't get prosecuted by the city and the police union for prosecuting bad cops. I just want it to be that a prosecutor is not afraid. You know, that's the police reform bill. It's not about chokeholds. It's about having prosecutors who are not beholden to the police union, that are not controlled by the police union. That's very important. So that's some of the stuff we want to get done, right? Healthcare, education, you know, a living wage that makes sense, you know, police reform. Some of the stuff that I think, not that they'll do it unless you make them do it, but at least they promised it. Some of the people and some of the Democrats promised it. I don't like them much, but they promised certain things. We can push them for those things. Maybe. Yeah, personally, I'm against the system. Well, As a yogi, as a spiritual, you know, Jesus, even everybody, somehow politics seeps in. If you're helping the poor, then it's political to some degree. There's some politics that will help the poor, for sure. If you help, anything you're doing that helps the collective or helps humanity has political ramifications. You want to clean the ocean? You got to talk to Pepsi. They get more plastic in the, or Coke puts more plastic in the ocean than anybody except Pepsi. So you got to talk to them. So it's political. They pay the politicians to keep doing it.
Russ,
All
do you know Marianne Williamson?
yes, she spoke at my yoga studio.
Oh, she did?
Not too long ago. Yeah.
So I love Marianne. I've known her again for many years. She knew my mom. I have a copy. She gave me her copy of Course in Miracles that she signed for me, her personal copy, which is so incredible. But, you know, when Marianne she ran for president, and I'm not saying that she would have been qualified to do that, but a lot of her ideas and what she was saying, and she was saying a lot of people from like the yoga community, the spiritual community, they're like, oh, I don't like to do politics. I don't want to talk politics. And she's like, you know what? You got to show up. If you don't show up, you can't leave it to other people to handle it. So you can't be like, I'm above all of this, kumbaya and whatever. No, you got to get in there. And that's why.
You know, in the Bhagavad Gita, which is one of the main scriptures in yoga, Arjuna told Krishna, I don't want to fight. And Krishna said, if you don't get out there and chop them fuckers' head off right now. He said, I'll love you if you don't fight, but you got to fight. And the book, and yoga is taught to Arjuna on the battlefield. You know, Dharma, we all have personal responsibility to help the collective. And even in cases horrible as war, because in the Bhagavad Gita, it happens on the battlefield again. So, yeah, a lot of yogis say they're not in politics, but you can't escape politics if you really want to help everyone else. If you want to help the world be a better place, there's some politics coming in it.
Mm. Yep. That's what I realized, because I've always been I've never paid so much attention to. Are you reading?
Yeah, I'm reading some of these things. I'm listening to you too. I mean, I'm so sorry. I heard everything.
No, you read.
I'm reading your stuff. I'm reading the comments on your thing here. We got Crush Groove, he says. Politics defines society. You can't get out of it, right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, I love you. I don't even know how I just got on because I love you and I saw you and I don't have your number. So DM me.
I'll DM it to you. But
slide up in my DMs because I do follow you.
Do you you don't have the same cell number that I had?
I have the same cell number. I haven't changed my number since they gave out cell phones.
I mean, I have it, so I'm going to text you, and then if I don't hear back from you, I'll DM it to you also.
All right. Again, give Billy my love, and you know, keep dancing.
Russell.
Bye.
Mwah. Bye. Wow. Okay. Well, that was good. I ate my ramen, and I think I'm gonna just, I guess, go and text Russell my phone number. Oh, I think some of his people are on here. Are you some of Russell's people, not my people? If I'm China, I am in Los Angeles. I have known Russell for many, many years, and it was nice to see his face. Anyway, hope you guys are okay. See you another night. Bye.